Hey yo, what up? It's been your boy the King NYC, and today I actually got a nice little game of Demolition on Radiation for you guys. But I'm not gonna be talking about the gameplay too much, and I'm gonna just use it as sort of a background to what I really wanted to talk about, which is the college experience and preparing for college and all of that stuff. What is now? You might ask what inspired me to talk about this stuff. Well, I still recently saw a video of Woody's where he was talking about, preparing for college, the college life, what to expect, what not to expect, etc. And he asked any college members, like any of his audience members who were in college, to reply in the comments with any helpful tips, experiences, etc. that they found, helpful, and that they would share with the younger audience that were, say, in high school or such. So I thought instead of doing it in a comment, I just make it a video and attach the video as a response, and hopefully Woody will see it, accept it, put it up. And anyways, but yeah, enough about that. Now let me introduce myself. My gamer tag is X King NYC X. My YouTube is always King NYC. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to Fordham University. Now, Fordham University is a university that is, I believe, ranked number 52 in the United States, and somewhere in the 60s in the world. So it's not too bad of a college. But I'm not here to show off, or I'm not here to say anything like that. I'm just explaining because this will come into effect later when I explain the college experience. But anyway, now let's get right to it. Tips for college. Well, I'm gonna start with preparing for college. Preparing for college begins freshman year of high school. Now, how would you think so? I mean, freshman year is 4 years away from college, and you're just young. No, what you want to do freshman and sophomore year is to keep those grades as high as possible. Keep the grades as high as possible. Just do everything in your power to keep your grades as high as possible. Reason being that if you keep your grades high, they serve as a strong foundation for you to stand on for the other 2 years, junior and senior year. If you get bad, and wait, let me start over. If you have a good strong foundation, what happens is when you go to junior year, you've got a little bit more leeway to not do to to mess up a little bit and not be punished as badly as someone who doesn't have that strong foundation to stand on. Now, why do I say this? Well, colleges typically look at your junior year grades and performance, extracurricular activities, etc. Mainly because junior year is a year they look at and the year they judge you upon the most. So, well, then you're probably saying by now, wait, this doesn't make sense. I thought you just said that preparing for college starts freshman year. And it does. Like I explained before, if you've done well freshman, sophomore year, it gives you a good basis to stand on for junior year. So that, say if you have a 95 average total for freshman, sophomore year, if you get a 90 average for junior year, your average is going to be somewhere around in the 90s. Whereas if someone has a 70 average for freshman, sophomore year, but they get, a 90 in junior year, their average is going to be in the high 70s, low 80s. So, you can see how the two situations differ greatly and how they make such a big impact on your grades. Now, aside from grades, what you want to be doing is involving yourself in extracurricular activities, things like volunteering at a hospital or a community center, or handing flyers out for a company or something like that. Aside from doing these extracurricular activities, like I said, you want to keep your grades high. Now, for senior year of high school, a lot of people say, hey, it's my joke around year, I don't gotta do shit. And you're right and you're wrong. Personally, I dropped 5 points in average because of senior year. So at the end of junior year, I had a 94 average. Senior year's average dropped me to a 92 because at the end of the year, senior year, I had an 85 average instead of my normal, like 94-ish, 96-ish grades. So, that's what happened with me. So what you want to do is you really want to be careful about not slacking off too much, because slacking off too much can really hurt your grade and just kill everything you did. So, yeah. But anyway, so that's enough about grades. So how do I actually prepare about college? Well, at the beginning of your junior year, what you want to do is, number one, research colleges. Research colleges that are in-state, out-of-state, good colleges, alright colleges, bad colleges. Just get an idea of what the college scene is like. Also, what you want to do is, by the end of junior year, you want to have a list of maybe 10 to 15 or even 20 colleges that you might consider applying to. And by the middle, and by the end of the first term of senior year, you want to have that list narrowed down to about 5 to 10 colleges. Now, that list of colleges should contain. Before I talk about that, let me give you a website that I found. It's like immensely helpful, and it's collegeboard.com. Google collegeboard. College space BOARD, and Google that. It's a website that shows you what colleges expect out of you, the reputation of a college, how high their admittance rate is, and other important statistics like that. So yeah, collegeboard.com, very useful. So yeah, how do you generate your list? What do I generate my list based on? Well, the first question is, what do you want? Do you want a college that's prestige? Do you want to go to your friend and say, hey, I go to so-and-so college, so I'm better than you? Or do you want a college that's academically focused? Do you want a college that's big in the sports scene? Do you want a college that's big in the scholarship scene where it's easy for you to get a scholarship? What do you want? So generating that option. And while you're generating that option, you want to keep a look at your grades and then look at what colleges those grades generally accept. And in your list of 10 to 20 colleges, your pre-list of 10 to 20 colleges, what you want to have is a healthy list of colleges that are below your standards, like not below like a couple grades, but say like your average is a 90. Colleges accept grades from 85 to 90, and then colleges accept grades that are like 89 to 92, and then colleges that accept grades that are like 92 and above. So you want to have like a couple of each of these, but the most of them should be within the colleges that accept what your grades are. So yeah, once you have that list, senior year applying for college is like much easier, because you've already done all the research, you've done all the work. All you need to do now is narrow down your list and just go apply. Very simple. Now, what happens when you actually get to college? Well, the first thing you'll notice is the classes can be either much bigger or much smaller. So for me, the classes are much smaller. High school classes typically are about 30 people. I've got about typically 15 to 20 people in my class. Some of my classes, though, contain more than 100 people. So that's the first thing to expect. Second thing to do, actually, is, number one, if you were one of those like people who acted dickish or douchey or whatever in high school, do not act that way in college, because generally in college people are going to look to be friendly, to be more mature, to find a mate, boyfriend / girlfriend, or both, and to just be a more mature person. If you're gonna act like a douche nozzle, a lot of people are gonna end up avoiding you, and it's not cool to be douchey anymore. So it's time to be mature. It's time to be grown up. It's time to expand your horizons. That's second thing I'd say. Third thing is, classes for me are easier than high school classes. I don't get as much work as I did in high school in college, but the only difference is you really have to be good at time managing. Don't let video games get in your way too much. Don't let anything else in your life get in way too much of your studying and your work, because although the work isn't too much, what you're gonna see is it builds up very quickly if you do not stay on top of it. The final thing I'd like to say is, number one, if you're going, and the final thing I just had like a brain freeze, but the final thing I'd like to say is please look into dorming. You're going to have the full college experience dorming. Do not stay with your parents. Do not do the same mistake I have. Please, learn from me, all ye young ones, and dorm. Find out what your college's policies are on dorming and find out all that good stuff. Anyway, we're wrapping up, so I'll just make a few summary points. Prepare in junior year. Keep your grades up. Don't act like a douche when you're in college. And please, please, please dorm. Anyways, it's been your boy, the King of NYC. Please comment, rate, like, and subscribe. Peace.